Hi there, Internet Associate. It's Anthony, and I'm about to watch another episode of The Walking Dead. So, this is Season 2, Episode 3, Save the Last One. And, at the end of the last episode, Shane and Otis were stuck in the store with all the infected, so I'm looking forward to seeing where that's going. I'm looking forward to seeing if Carl's gonna get, the help that he needs. I imagine he will. And I'm looking forward to seeing if they're gonna find Sophia. So let's go ahead and get into it. Hopefully, I can get some of these questions answered. So, The Walking Dead, Season 2, Episode 3, Save the Last One. See what they're starting us off with this time. Is this Rick? I can't tell for sure who this is just yet. Looks like it might be Rick. Oh wait, is that Shane? Yeah, that's Shane. When did this happen? I wonder. Is this a jump forward?
Principal's car. Right out of the teacher's lot, middle of school day.
Wow, they went to school
Shane
together?
steps out of lunch.
Is that Daryl? Yeah, there's Carol. Daryl and Carol.
I'm gonna walk the road. Look for the girl.
Daryl does not give up. Plot twist, he really just was tired of hearing her cry because he was trying to go to sleep. I'm just kidding. Daryl seems like a really good guy, so that's really cool that he's still going out looking.
I double back, we meet up out on the field.
You're crazy, son of a bitch, ain't you?
Just trying to do right
You
for
got
that
to.
boy.
You gotta be crazy
You take 3
in
shots
this
and you go.
world.
After that, I fire. I lay down a cover for you.
Dang, that didn't really work, huh? That looked like he just landed on his ankle pretty badly. Ooh, got him. Things don't look good for Otis right now. Man, Shane is going off with the headshots, though. Better make that jump, because you just dropped the gun down already. That's the sensible way to do it. Into the bush. He must have a lot of upper body strength to be punching that guy. Oh, I guess that guy's seen him. Ooh.
Antibiotics? I already gave him some. Carl needs any.
Come on inside, I'll make you something to eat.
These are some pretty nice people, at least. I mean, if there was any type of family to have this unfortunate run-in with, I guess this was a good one.
Do you?
You gotta hope so.
That it's Georgia. She could be holed off in a farmhouse somewhere. People get lost. They survive. Happens all the time.
She's only 12.
So what, are you hoping
I
she's
was
dead?
younger than her. I
Like,
got lost.
Carl is here in this world now.
Maybe
so
he shouldn't be.
Maybe
Maybe
Hmm.
this is how it's supposed to be.
some of these people wishing that the kids will die. I mean, I know they're not directly wishing it.
I mean that.
And I understand Lori's like going through a lot and she's just saying stuff.
Okay.
She doesn't really believe that.
All right. I can understand that thought crossing your mind.
But I forgot Jackie was dead. I turned around, I wanted to tell her something. I almost said her name, and it was just a second, and then she doesn't have to be afraid anymore. Hungry, angry.
Well,
Hadn't
it was
stopped
her
happening.
decision. It would be
It's
Carl's
like we
decision.
live with a
You
knife
can't
in
make
our
the
throats
decision for
every
him.
second of every day, but Jackie doesn't.
I thought I lost you. That was my last rifle round. Mine too. Come on.
Well, yeah, y'all gotta get running then. And I hope they get back soon.
Dear, it was so pretty, Mom.
Yeah, I'm glad he still remembers the deer.
I've never been.
Hey, stop playing, bro.
Don't, it's a seizure. You hold him down, you could hurt him.
You can't stop it.
He has to just go through it.
Yeah, I might want to stop looking at that. They have to be gonna find Sophia by the end of this episode, right? So do you want to live now or
I
not?
don't know if I want to live. Or if I have to, or if it's just a habit.
So they brought that up a few times this episode now. This idea of like, do they even have the will to live? similar to the season 1 finale.
You know what Merle was taking it for?
Clap.
Looks
Venereal disease.
venereal
That's what
disease.
Daryl said.
Lil Wayne said venereal disease on Amelie. And so then I was singing that song in middle school and got in trouble for saying venereal disease.
Why is it better for Carl to live even in this world? He talked about the deer. Lori, he talked about the deer.
Yeah, that was a good answer to her question. She was asking all that. At the time, Rick didn't really have an answer, I guess. But that deer was symbolic in a lot of ways.
Right now, if you want me to do this, because I think your boy is out of time,
Dang.
you have to make a choice.
A choice?
Choice.
He's just trying to help Lori.
To tell me.
Gotta try everything you
Get the corner
can.
of that bed. Let's get the sheets down, everybody. Get the IV bag on the sheet. Rick, Lori.
I don't know if I can look at this.
You may want
I
to
mean,
step
yeah,
out.
I was just about to say, if I was the parent, I would be like, I don't know if I can look at this.
Carl.
Where's Otis?
Otis?
What exactly happened, I wonder? Because that, like, in the last shot, it seemed like Shane was the main one that could barely make it.
Every turn, we had nothing left. We was down to 10 rounds, and he said he'd cover me, and that I should keep going. So that's what I did. I just.
Yeah, that sucks that he had to leave Otis.
You forgive me for... Do you forgive me?
I'm trying.
I don't know if I can forgive you for that, but I would like to try.
He seems to have stabilized.
See, veterinarians know what they're doing.
I don't have words.
I don't either. Wish I did. How'd I tell Patricia about Otis?
Yeah. Sucks too, because Otis was a cool character. It's so weird to me though that unless they just cut it out for time, but it's very interesting to me that they didn't actually show that scene of Shane leaving Otis. Unless I missed it somehow, but I don't think they actually showed that scene. They just had Shane describe what happened, which is interesting to me. Like, oftentimes when something is portrayed that way, somebody just says what happened, but you didn't actually see it on screen, that might mean there's more to it.
You go to Carl.
Otis, is that his son?
I'll go with Herschel.
Because that's kind of, yeah, like he just saved their son, but now he just lost his son. If Otis is his son. I forget what all the family dynamics were. Regardless, Otis was definitely somebody important in his life and all of their life. Dang. All these characters know is loss. Don't start playing any games now, Shane. Now is definitely not the time.
Stay.
Oh, so he's not gonna leave the group anymore? She means stay like with the group, not just stay in the room. So now it looks like Shane's being, pretty affected by having to leave Otis. But honestly, even more affected than, maybe not. I don't know, something's just weird about this to me.
Brought you some clothes.
I can't help but feel like there's more going on
You
here.
know where Otis is?
Ooh. Oh my gosh. That hits hard, I bet. Like, he's blaming himself for this man's death, and now he's about to just have to go put his clothes on. Oh, this is where he cuts all his hair off. They did one of those things. Started the episode out with, I don't know, this is close to the end. Started the episode out with something towards the end.
How many rounds you got left?
Okay, they're about to say, are they about to show something?
One in the pipe.
There's more to this. There's definitely more to this than what he said. Did he have to kill Otis himself? Did Shane shoot Otis? This just seems to really be getting to him. Not that it wouldn't, obviously, just from him leaving him.
Me too. I'm sorry.
He's gonna shoot him in the head. Oh, he shot him in the... Dang, I had a feeling it might be something like that. He shot him in the... Oh my gosh, Shane. You know what that is? That's that joke. Two men running away from a wolf or whatever. And the guy's like, how are we gonna outrun this wolf? And the other guy's like, well, I don't gotta outrun the wolf. I just gotta outrun you. Yeah, I knew there was more to it than the scene, man. That's how his hair got ripped out. Okay, yeah, that's pretty messed up. Don't even know how to feel about that one, man. Gives Shane a very kind of different vibe about him. But I feel like it kind of matches his character in a way, in the direction that it seems like his character is going. That's a very interesting ending, though. Like, don't know how to feel about that, you know? I mean, on the one hand, you know he was doing it to save Carl by any means necessary. But at the same time, like, man, I mean, that's, you know, it's such a terrible thing to do. I mean, the guy did shoot Carl in the first place accidentally, but, you know, he was doing all that to try to help and whatnot, and try to, I guess, you know, in a way get redemption for that, and, you know, to save Carl's life. It was more importantly, he was trying to save Carl's life than get redemption. But I mean, that was an aspect too. But like, yeah, man, that's pretty. I mean, that's it's a very. I don't even know if I would call that, like, you know, dubious or ambiguous in terms of the morality. I mean, I actually think that's a pretty messed up thing to do. But at the same time, it's like, what was the other option? You know, I don't know, man. Like that, this show constantly pushes these characters to a place where they're having to question, you know, how immoral is too immoral, and, you know, how far can I push it to still be doing the right thing, even for the wrong reason? And at what point does that right thing start to tip over to just being on the wrong side? Shane has definitely been teetering that line a lot, and, you know, Shane, this whole series so far, he's kind of been on that. He's kind of been that almost villain type of thing. Like, he comes through when we need him to, but at the same time, he's done a lot of stuff that you just can't help but look at him like, man, what are you doing? But this is by far, you know, the most reprehensible thing he's done, I guess you could say. Again, I understand why he did it, and it seems like it was definitely for a good reason. But at the same time, it's just like, oh my gosh, like, that was still in a bubble. That was a very messed up thing to do. That's all I can say. I mean, definitely just on his own, that was a very messed up thing to do, for him to shoot that guy and then leave him there so that he could get away. Now, I mean, when you look at the grand scheme of things, and he was trying to help Carl and all that other stuff, and that guy was the reason why Carl was shot in the first place, I can see where it starts to open up a little bit more of a level of ambiguity. And it's like, at this point, the guy's dead already and Carl is saved. So it's no point in, I guess, trying to figure out whether or not it was right or wrong, because what happened. But it's definitely it's definitely a tricky little situation. So I don't know whether that was right or wrong. And I think that part of the point of this is that it doesn't matter whether or not it was right or wrong. It's what he did to survive, to help somebody else survive. And at the end of the day, we just have to live with that, I guess, as an audience, that's what these people are doing, and people in the world are having to live with that. You know, I mean, and that really sucks. I feel like that really kind of just really paints the picture of how dreary this show is. Because we could sit here and argue all day about whether or not it was a right or wrong thing for Shane to do, but at the end of the day, it's done. And it did what he was trying to accomplish, I guess. It saved another life, but it took a life in the process. So it's really sucky, man. It's just all around a sucky situation. There's no good outcome, it feels like. And that's kind of how this world works, really. So I'm glad to see that Carl is stabilized, though. You know, it's a good thing that he was able to get the care that he needed. It really sucks for Herschel and, you know, everybody else that Otis had to, you know, kind of pay the price in a way, in that way. So it's like we lost some and we gained some this episode, or at least we didn't gain, but we retained. We didn't lose Carl. We still don't have Sophia. So that's getting very, you know, nerve-wracking, especially considering the fact that Carl just survived. It makes you wonder, okay, well, they kept Carl there. Could they be going to keep Sophia? Could they be, since they got rid of Carl, since they kept Carl, will they go ahead and get rid of Sophia? It definitely opens up more possibilities to where you might think they might actually go ahead and let Sophia die since they killed Carl. I don't know. I hope that they get Sophia, though. I think that the way they set Otis's character up, too, you can kind of just, when you think about it, you're like, oh, yeah, he was going to die. Because even though he shot Carl, he was being a good guy the whole time. Like, I think they wanted to set it up so that there's no question as to whether or not Otis is a good person. Like, we saw it time and time again that Otis did what it took to survive. And you know what else? I had a feeling that something like this was going to happen the moment Otis said the thing about, I think Shane suggested that Otis leave him and take the stuff. And Otis was like, no, I can't do that. The moment that happened, like, in my mind, a bit of a red flag went off. Like, this looks like some TV setup. This looks like setup to then make Shane go and do it to Otis. Like, another show I'm reacting to is Lucifer. On a recent episode, somebody told Lucifer that they would never stab him with this thing. Then Lucifer did it. Typically, when a character does that, it means that the other character is going to do it to that character, so that the audience will then feel like, oh my goodness, that character would have never done that, and that's what they get. Or that's not what they deserved, but that's what they ended up getting. So there was a lot of setup there, a lot of things that you could look at and kind of tell that that's where that was headed for Otis. And it sucks, because I liked Otis as a character, but I think that was the point. You were supposed to kind of like him so that he can then die, and you're like, dang, man. He died. It saved Carl's life. It kept Shane, but now he's gone. I don't know. I'm just really, you know, that really just, it sucks. It hits hard, man. But otherwise, this episode, you know, they had more questioning of religion, not even necessarily religion, but, you know, just God and whether or not he exists and is allowing all this stuff to happen or cares about the prayers, because they were saying how there's all these prayers and they must not have been very answered. You know, it was more questioning of, is it worth living in this world? The deer ended up becoming a very symbolic, you know, symbol, if you will, as, you know, a thing of beauty in this entire sea of ugliness and darkness and walkers and whatnot. And it's kind of poetic too, how, you know, in this world, the juxtaposition of beauty and ugliness, death, all of that sickness is so direct and so right next to each other. One second you're looking at this beautiful deer in the middle of the woods with peace, silence. I mean, it feels like a powerful moment. Then the next second you're shot, or you're watching your son get shot. So I felt like that entire, you know, that puts a whole new light on that whole scene with the deer, because it makes it feels like such a just accurate representation of what this world is as a whole and what this show is probably going to be. We'll have some wins, we'll have some losses, and oftentimes they're going to come together in ways that will probably feel pretty uncomfortable, just like we did this episode. So that's where I'm going to go ahead and stop this one. Enjoy this episode. I'm looking forward to seeing where they're headed next, especially like with this Shane character. It looks like he's got an interesting arc on the way. He just shaved his head. He's becoming a new man in a way. Let's see where this is headed. Until then, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this video. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. Hit the Patreon for the full uncut reactions if you're interested in seeing that. I'm not trying to force you to do anything. Do what you want to do in life, man. You only got one life to live in, you know. You can't sit around doing things that you don't want to do. You never know. A walker might just pop up and kill you at any minute. So, yeah, man. That's going to be it for now. I'll see you all later.